All right, day 2. Let me show you what we've done. All right, so we got the new one ready to install. We got the gasket, and comes pre-formed rubber gasket. It's very nice, easy to install, but make sure that you get it seated all the way around. Just, check absolutely every spot. Just go around and push in, push in, push in. Because if a little bit of this lip is sticking up and you install it and it rolls over, you're gonna have problems. So make sure it's seated all the way around. We have our temp sensor with new thread tape installed. That was a 19 millimeter. And let's see, we're currently cleaning up the mating surface. Okay, so what I did was I have those plastic razors. Well, here, I started using one, and you see where it's at, in the trash, because they don't last for crap, man. Let me show you something. See if we can get a good look at this. I don't know if you can see that. See how boogered up that is? That started off like that. Now it's like that. And that's only like a couple seconds of scraping. So, bye-bye. File that in the file 13. So what I ended up doing was the no-no, a metal scraper on aluminum. But let me show you. Be careful, you can do this. And I've done some of it already. It's a very light touch. So let's see. Let's go right here. So just a very, well, I did that spot already. Where haven't we gotten yet? Oh, there we go. Sorry. Let's see, how about right here? Can we see that? All right, so just a very light touch. And you see how much stuff is on there. That's quite a bit. So very gingerly. If you feel it catch anywhere, don't force it. Sometimes there's little burrs along the edge, like right here, along this edge. So if you feel yourself hit on it, well, you can see this one right here. It's got something hooked on it. Just take it easy, don't force anything. Oh, look, I just realized you can see, it's like maybe the water pump was coming in or the impeller was coming in contact with this part here. That's how loose it was. All right, but anyway, you get the idea. So we're gonna go around and finish all that and come back and see you in a minute. All right, we're ready. All clean. Make sure you wipe it down. Get any debris out of, the ports here. Here, oh wait, right there. Got a little something. Here, down there. And wipe it down, preferably with a lint-free rag. Just feel around and see. Oh, I feel a little something right there. But it's fairly smooth. I think it'll be all right. I could get super anal about this, but this I believe is going to be good enough. So I took all the bolts, put them back in their proper positions on this one so I know where they're at. And we're going to take one of those and use it to hold it in place while we transfer the rest of them. All right, let's see. Enhance. I don't know. I can't get you guys like super close here because the legs on my tripod get in the way. There. All right. We are recording, right? Okay, good. Sure, I pushed the right button. We're gonna start with this one right here. I'll tell you what, we'll set it in place first. Make sure you don't hit any of these things sticking out while you're lowering it into position. You gotta get that tube in its proper location as well. Great, it's not wanting to go. There we go. Alright, tube. Oh, and I got the new O-ring for the tube. There wasn't a listing for it, and since it wasn't in the kit, I just had to eyeball it and just, you know, pick one that was the right size. I believe I got it right, but I did set it down in the hole by itself just to make sure that it was coming in contact with the walls of the hole. And so once I put it on the pipe, it was really tight there as well, so I knew it was going to work. Pretty confident anyway. Alright, let's see. We need these two top ones here. Rock it back and forth until you find it. Get in the hole. There, right here. Oh, that goes way in there. Make sure you start them all by hand before you go hitting them with any kind of power tools. You don't want to cross thread anything, especially in this aluminum. Alright, so basically that's it. We're going to pop this tube in place. Hopefully, if I can get some leverage on it. Oh, come on. There it goes. I did put a little O-ring lube on there of the proper viscosity. So, alright, we're going to button up the bolts and come back. Alright, so we got the lower radiator hose back on. It was kind of a pain in the butt. I put a little grease inside of it. Still didn't have any leverage to push it up or pull it up, so I had to get underneath and push it from the bottom side, so that helped. And then was trying the channel locks to do the clamp. Then I remembered I had these, so let's open it up here. I have these ends on them here that grab onto that style of clamp, and then it's got this little lock. This spring is apparently, whoop, it gets stuck right here. It doesn't have the springiness it used to, but the spring will lock it in place as you ratchet it, and that way you can finagle it into position without having to worry about keeping your grip tight on here. So that worked well, even though the spring didn't work. I'm gonna try a little trick I saw recently on Faye Hadley's channel about zip ties. So I zip tied the upper hose out of the way, and she says, and she demonstrated it too, that you can take pliers, just squeeze these sideways like this, and it'll release. Maybe I need some more leverage here. Use the old channel locks. Where are we at? Sorry, I keep forgetting to look in the viewfinder. Release. Release. Yeah, it's not working. Okay, let's try it on this one. There's a lot of tension on it, so maybe there's only so much tension it'll work with. Well, come on, Faye. It worked easy for you. What the heck? All right, hang on. Let me put you in position here. Sorry. Well, I can't get you. Hold the right position. Okay, right there. Come on, I really want this to work. Maybe it doesn't work on all of them. Maybe just sometimes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. No release. Man, I can't believe it. Huh. It looks so easy. Nope. Forget it. I'm just cutting them off. Alright, never mind. Alright, so voila, that's the easy way right there. Okay. Now we got a thermostat in, and just make sure again that your mating surfaces are all clean. I also had some crusties on the rubber O-ring, the outer O-ring of the, it's not an O-ring really, it's a seal that goes around the outer edge. But so wipe it down, make sure that's clean. Bolt her up. And tighten her down. Oh yeah, I forget if I told you, the water pump bolts are 21 foot-pounds. In case anyone asks. Write that down, it'll be a test later. Okay, so got that. Oh, we got to install our bolt holding our coolant pipe in place so it doesn't wiggle its way loose. Ooh, that's bright. Alright. Alright, we'll tighten that down in a sec. We got our tensioner. Make sure the hole goes in, or the peg goes in the hole. Tighten that one down eventually. Get her started anyway. Oh, and it said to do like some kind of crisscross pattern. There wasn't a specific pattern on tightening the water pump bolts, but just kind of, go one side, the other side, and then top and bottom, and so just kind of work your way crisscrossed around. So you get them all equally tight. Got our idler pulley going back on. What else? Ooh, that's a little weird. Kind of tight. But still turns by hand, so that's alright. No, we're not cross-threaded. What else? We got our temp sensor plugged in, locked in. What else did I end up? Oh yeah, this. What was this? What was it? Oh, is that off of the intake pipe? Where is it? Oh yeah. It's off the intake pipe. It goes right there. So I'll have to wait until we put that on. Oh, hey, don't forget. Drain cup. Oh, and I was gonna drain the block as well. It's got plugs on either side of the block. I tried to take one off. One of them is really difficult to get to. The other one was so tight I couldn't budge it. So I'm leaving all that old stuff in there and just put new stuff in with it. I looked up the coolant type, and it said it was a G05. I I think Xerox makes it. But then it also had one place that said orange, which is stupid because that's just a color. There's several orange ones, or a couple at least. But it said one thing I did find was absolutely do not mix the old green kind, you know, the original antifreeze. And then they also make the one that's universal, which I don't know because I don't believe anything's absolutely universal. Alright, let me tighten up all these, put my drain cock in, and we'll come back and see you. Alright, we got our belt, new belt, that I set out in the sun because, man, this thing was stiff as a board. And of course, when they have it all folded up, it gets these kinks in it. So I loosen those up a little bit. Nice and flexible now. So we get our handy dandy drawing here that we did. Crank, oh, water pump, AC. Not bad, huh? Good tip. Because I surely wouldn't remember. So we're gonna put that right there. We're gonna go around the crank first. And under. Okay, so it's gotta go back. So, let's see. Oh, it's gotta go back behind. The tensioner on this one points in the wrong direction, so you gotta get it back behind it. Like that. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but take my word for it. Alright, so we'll go alternator. Underneath idler. Over the, oh wait, we're not going over the water pump. Yeah, we're gonna do water pump last because it's right here on top, or this idler pulley to the right. You know what? Let's do idler pulley. Well, that's gonna be pretty tight. I don't know. All right, got our tensioner release tool. Come on, get in the hole. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Pressure. Oh, okay, we got a little slack. There, make sure it's in all the grooves. It appears to be in all the grooves and all the pulleys. All right. Release the bar. Okay, so we tighten down the thermostat housing. We tighten down those two pulleys, tensioner and idler. We tighten down our hold down bolt here. We torqued all these. Put our drain cock back in. Alright, I think we're ready for coolant. I did get a new radiator cap. The old one was looking a little crusty, so figure what the hell, now's a good time as any. Alright, actually I still gotta run up to O'Reilly and get some antifreeze. So, oh, I got a new tool too, hang on. Alright, we figured it out. So, owner's manual is what I had to revert to. And even it was kind of vague in the description of what coolant it takes. Basically, it said an OAT, organic additive technology coolant. But, and I later found something that said MS 9032 as maybe a specification. But it was just in parentheses in a sentence somewhere. It was just kind of vague. I could not find that MS number on any of the bottles on the shelf. So the only one I found though that does say, because it did say not to put in an HOAT, which is a hybrid organic whatever, or the conventional antifreeze. So the only one I found that said that is this one, extended life organic acid technology. Excuse me. I think it said additive in the owner's manual. But this is the only one I found. And it does say Chrysler 2013 to present. It does not have that specification on it though. So this is what we got. American Vehicle Ford Chrysler GM. Orange. OAT. Oat. Pretty sure it's not made of oats though. But I wanted to show you this. So the What No Way guy had a video recently where he showed somebody take the cap off and use this edge of the cap right here to open up the foil. See if it works. Yeah. Look at that. What? No way. Let's see. It works. All right. Hang on. I'll be right back. Houston, we have a problem. Look, so I got this new toy. I've used it once actually, and I didn't have any problems with it, so I don't think it's this. Even though it's a cheap knockoff, you know, it's all plastic and stuff. But so you hook up your air hose. So air hose right here. There's the air hose, the air switch from the compressor. As the air passes through here, it draws air through this line and creates a vacuum in here. So let me show you what's going on. See that? It won't get above, well, this is in bars and centimeters of mercury, so it won't get above about 20 centimeters of mercury. And then, you know, as soon as I turn it off, it bleeds out. So I don't know, I don't hear it going anywhere, or, you know, an air leak. This has a little bit of a hiss, but that's all I hear is that. So if I cover that up, nothing. And then if I disconnect this and hook up the pressure gauge right here, I can't build any pressure. So there's a leak somewhere. I don't know what I did or what I didn't do. I mean, I put everything back like it was, and I can't check for a leak until there's coolant in it. So I was gonna use this tool, because when you create a vacuum in the system, then it's got a tube you hook to the bottom that just sucks coolant up. You know, when you open the other valve, the vacuum draws the coolant into the cooling system. That way you don't have to fill it up and worry about air bubbles. It fills the system with no air bubbles. But I don't know. So I'm gonna have to put coolant in it to find a leak if there is a leak, and obviously there is, because it won't hold pressure. Great. So I'm not sure if, well, I'll go ahead and put it in and see what happens. I'll get back to you. Well, the gauge doesn't lie. Filled it up, well, where the coolant is full in the tank, and so pressurized it as much as I could. Was enough to force a leak. Well, you can't really see it now. You can see where it was dripping on the See where it was dripping on here? This is wet coming from right here. The thermostat housing. So something's not right there. Let me open it up and see what's going on. Well, I figured it out. Well, I obviously figured out where it was leaking, but I figured out why. So apparently, and I didn't think about this when I installed this, but the depth of this right here, from here to here, is a little deeper than the old water pump. So when you put the old thermostat back put it in the new one, it actually sits down in that recess a little deeper than the old one. So we had to get a new one. Now, oh, and whenever you put these in, make sure you put the little weep hole toward the top, if it's angled like this. So now we got that in, seated fully, and this gasket sits proud of that surface. So there you have it. All right, let me put this back together and we'll get back to the this thing if I can. All right, back on track. We got our pressure adapter here. We're gonna just pressure it up real quick and see if it holds. First thing, holding. And there it goes. That's a lot of pumping. Golly. This is a 18-pound cap, so we're gonna try and get it up to there. Well, we'll get it up to 15 at least. That's only 5. God. I hope this is reading right. PSI and bar, yeah? Ooh, that's a lot of pressure. Good Lord, man. Where are we at? 10. Golly. 13 and a half. 15. All right, we'll let it sit there for a couple minutes, see if anything bleeds down. Hey, bonus footage. I heard something out here that sounded like a woodpecker. It's like really soft, but it sure is. Watch this. See if I can zoom in here. Pretty cool, huh? Well, bleeding down a little bit, very, very slowly. So I only lost about 1.5 PSI. So I'm just gonna give it a go. I can't see it leaking anywhere, so I don't know where it's going. We're gonna try this vacuum vacuum tool again. See how it goes. Alright, so hook this thing up to here. There we go. Put the air hose up to here. And the compressor, the compressor might kick on, so it's going to possibly get loud. All right, here we go. Climbing, very slowly climbing. Let that compressor build pressure again. Alright, so we got the vacuum built up. This is about as high as I could get it. I don't know if because my compressor the can't keep up the pressure or what, but so it said in the instructions to get it to 50 or 60 centimeters of mercury, which is right about there, but that's as high as I could get it. So I left it there and it's been holding steady, which means there's no leak. So, which probably means that this pump has some kind of internal leak in it. So we're gonna go ahead and proceed. All right, so we got the tube hooked up. It's got this cool end on it, so it's got these little notches so it doesn't get sucked up against the bottom of the container. So it always has a space to draw fluid through. So we drop this down in here. You have to monitor your liquid level in your jug. You don't want to suck any air into it to make sure you get all the antifreeze that you can in here. Alright, so we're going to open this valve now. So this was the one to draw the vacuum with the shop air. This one opens up this line for the vacuum to pull it into the system. And it's flowing. But the pressure dropped really quick. Still got a vacuum, so that's good. Just pulling it in. Watch your levels. Actually shouldn't take much because I already pre-filled it partially. And it's dropping pretty low. It's still flowing though. I can hear it going in the tank. It's slowing down though. And it's done. Alright, so yeah, it didn't quite get it. Let's see, where's the level? Oh no, it did good. Yeah. It's right at the cold level. Awesome. Hey, that works great. Alright, moment of truth. Here we go. Alright, put your foot on the brake. Love that sound. Alright, let's make sure our belt's riding good. so we will let that idle for a minute, build up some pressure, and check for leaks again. Other than that, we're done. All right, so thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk at you later.